slow it down and sit back. So that was a jog. Next up, we're going for a speed ride. Yeah, you need to ride as fast as you can. And we'll end with a slow jog. And you can relax and ride. So next up, so let's turn the resistance down just one time. No, bring it up. So we're starting with the jog. Ready? We're going back in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. You ride as fast as you can on the jog. Just go with the beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Speed ride. So let's sit back and we go as fast as you can. Come on, a little faster, come on. All right, let's slow it down. So we have to go turn it back up 3 times. Not so much. That'll be way too difficult for you. It's too much. Bring it to the middle. All right, this is a much slower jog. We're going back up in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
And our personal trainer, Rosemary Jeff Ajekuma, just taking us through the cycling lesson for today. She's a fitness trainer, personal trainer, and a cycling instructor. Rosemary, you're sweating like me, but it doesn't look like you went through any stress doing this. Is it because you've been doing this all the time?
Consistency too helps most times.
Wow.
So if you're very consistent, it should get easier as you get
easier.
consistent.
Okay, you won't feel as much pain as a beginner.
No,
amazing.
not at all.
And that's why your thighs are looking all molded, I believe.
Right.
Your biceps, triceps, everything. So it works everywhere.
It works everywhere. And if you're unable to have access to a stationary bike, you can just hop onto your bike and go for a
bicycle.
road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A 30-minute ride a day won't kill you. You'll be very
nice.
healthy
I know,
afterwards.
Rosemary, you were mentioning earlier on that if you're recovering from injury as well, knee pain, knee injury, it's good you cycle just like we've done. Okay, nice. How does one sign on to be a member of Pepper's Health Center and get to cycle with you? So
before you sign up, if you're a new member or you're about to sign up, you're allowed to have a free trial session before you sign up. So you're entitled to 2-3 trial sessions, before you actually become a member. And when you become a member, you don't need to pay any extra amount to join our fitness classes. You just pay as you go and join the classes. And when you're a non-member and you are not looking forward to joining as a member, you can just pay for just a cycling class and get to join. And it starts off as early as 6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. Monday to Friday.
Spinning is on only Thursdays, but we have other classes that go on
from Monday to the weekend.
To Friday, yes.
To Friday. So how's the payment done? Monthly, every month, or you can pay for like the year sign up?
We have monthly, we have 3 months, we have 6 months, we have a year, and if you're looking for a package for 2 weeks, we can work that out for you as well.
Amazing. Yeah. And you can see Rosemary is like a visible result of what Pepper's Health Center can do for you, and hopefully before you see my new body, you understand why you should come and sign up for Pepper's Health Center right here in Osu in Accra. I am Altis Isaida Sadiq, and this has been our health segment with our cycling class. We'll catch you again later. Stay with us.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
July 2024, it's also World Brain Day, and I've got people who are interested in our brains right here on the set. Never mind physical exercise. How about brain exercise? My guests are Professor Albert Akpalu. He's consultant neurologist at the University of Ghana Medical School, and Dr. Frida Dodd-Glover, who is a neurologist at Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Good morning. Happy World Brain Day to both of you.
Good morning, Thank you.
Good morning. I'm going to start with the professor. Good to have you here. How important is our brain, man?
So I think the brain is the most important organ of the body. It's an amazing organ, which the only organ you cannot replace. And it's 100 billion nerve cells all talking to each other in a crazy network. So when I hear about AI and everything, I laugh because we have just harnessed less than 1/10 of our brain potential. So we need to use our brain. So if you don't learn anything at all from here today, use your brain or you lose it.
Use it or lose it. Dr. Dodd-Glover, what do you want to add to that?
That's so true. So, today we are here talking about brain health and prevention because, that's our field. We work with the brain and we see so many neurological disorders coming to us on the daily. Topmost, stroke is the leading cause of mortality in our country. Month by month, from where I work, year by year, it's the leading cause. When it comes to morbidity, we are seeing people living with epilepsy coming to our clinics every single day. And then the sequelae of people who have had strokes are also coming. We are seeing people with headaches. We're seeing so many neurological conditions, but see, the awareness is not there. So that's what we've come here to talk about, the fact that we are able to prevent some of these neurological conditions if we know about it early and we take measures towards prevention.
Okay, Prof, let's break this down. What is mortality? What is morbidity?
So mortality is death. So for instance, if 10 people have a stroke, maybe a few years back, 6 to 7 out of 10 of them will die within the first 30 days. So that narrative has changed. So morbidity is those who survive the problems that they go through. So if I take myself, I'm right-handed, I'm the breadwinner for my family, and I have a stroke. Let's say I'm 40 years old. I'm not 40, but I'm 40 years old and I have a stroke. How many people are going to suffer after that? I cannot work, I cannot talk because I'm a right-handed person, and I'm at home. Who's going to take care of me? My wife and my children who are working, we have to stop to come and look after. So that is what we call the morbidity, the problems associated with surviving after stroke. And then let me make it more scary. Those 3 who survive, as the year goes on, each year goes on, 50% of them will have another stroke and may die. So we need to not secondary prevent, we need to primary prevent. So we need to look at all the factors that will help us to prevent stroke, especially, and all the other things. When I walk around and we drive around and see our Okada drivers without helmets, and our police are happy waving them on, any incident you have, you get a head injury, closed or open head injury, give you epilepsy, can give you mental health issues, give you dementia later on in life. So we need to do primary prevention.
I'm glad you talk about these motorbike people. Yesterday I saw a lady on the back of a motorbike. She had a beautiful long rasta hair with a helmet on. She took the helmet off.
Yes.
Then I asked her, why? Will the rasta save you when you fall?
Beauty first. But beauty and brains go together.
Go together. Let's have some amazing facts about the brain. We're going to put it up on the screen and you can just quickly go through them before we continue the conversation. So your brain keeps developing until you're late?
Yes.
Late 60s?
Yes. So it keeps developing. So initially we thought that the brain, when you're born with that's it, but you use it or you lose it. So you need to keep developing your brain. And your brain health from pregnancy to childhood to your mid-teens, it keeps going. So if you eat the wrong foods, they are fed your wrong foods, there's noise pollution, there's air pollution, there's heat pollution, there's anger, no social connection in your family, you grow up with a bad brain and you make certain decisions. So sometimes some of our lawmakers, I think back and say they might have had a bad childhood, or they ate yellow corn maize during those times. So they are angry, they are hateful. So these are little things that we are trying to prevent. So good nutrition, good exposure, social connections, dancing, music, talking, reducing stress, jokes and everything. All those things help the brain to be thin. So I think I recommend to Parliament, before they make any law, they must all laugh.
Before they make the laws. Before they make the laws, make sense. So I love that. Frida, you see 60% of your brain is fat. I can't believe that.
Yes. So you know the myelin. The myelin is like the insulation that covers the wires. So the wires of the brain are the nerves or the neurons, okay? And then there's a covering that allows signals to move very fast, and that is myelin. So a lot of that is fat, and that allows signals to move from one end to the other.
There's power enough in your brain, which is awake and working to power a light bulb.
Yes.
Really?
For several years.
God is great.
Yes.
And then there's a connection between chocolate and brain waves and relaxation.
Yes.
How is that?
So chocolate stimulates the production of dopamine. The brain works, or the signals move by what we call neurotransmitters. Neuro means nerve, transmitter means, so it's not electricity, we think, but they are neurotransmitters. So there are various neurotransmitters. So dopamine is like the fuel of your brain. So dopamine is a reward-driven hormone. So chocolate improves your dopamine levels. So it makes you happy, it makes you active, it makes you drive. So if your dopamine levels are low, you are slow, you drag your handshake, so you have what we call Parkinson's. And so there are several things that dopamine can do. The other neurotransmitter, serotonin, is also a happy hormone, so chocolate also drives that up. So yes, so cocoa is good. Dark cocoa, not the one sweet eating with all the chocolate and then the dark ones, yes.
Okay, all right, great. And so what's happening to our brain when we forget things, when we are losing our memory? What's going on there, Frida?
Great. So I really love how Prof. Palu mentioned all the things that contribute eventually to dementia. So dementia is that progressive condition where people are losing their ability to use the various domains that the brain has, what we call cognition. Okay, so the ability to plan, to execute, to make decisions. Their memory is a big part of that. Their behavior, okay, their ability to sustain attention, to focus on the tasks that they are doing. All these things are components of dementia. So if your lifestyle from, childhood, teenage years, adulthood, you don't put certain things into place. You have diabetes, you have hypertension, they are not controlled. These things can cause damage to the blood vessels in the brain, okay? Strokes, they can all cause damage to the blood vessels in the brain. And eventually you may develop some form of dementia. That's what we call vascular dementia. Now, there are some other dementias that are genetic. You can't really do much about them, but if you institute these lifestyle measures that we are campaigning, we are talking about, you can actually delay the onset of these memory problems.
Okay. Prof, so what is brain health, and can you give us 3 tips that we can adopt today to improve our brain health?
Brain health is protein. Brain health is an essential human right for us. So you need to feed your brain, you need to love your brain, you need to exercise your brain, you need to keep your brain very active. So what can we do? So there are various tips. So one is to have good sleep. So I didn't have good sleep before coming, so I was laughing because I didn't want to be in traffic. So good sleep is important.
What is good sleep?
Good sleep is 7 to 9 hours of healthy sleep. No continuous. No checking WhatsApp and YouTube or what do you guys do in Instagram and things before you go
7 to 9 hours.
And then as soon as the alarm, as soon as the message beeps come, you wake up and check your mail or check your note. Keep your phone away. Okay. So good sleep, 7 to 9 hours sleep. Physical activity, so active physical activity. So people think you need to go to the gym to be active. No, walking is the best exercise. So if you have to climb stairs, so be it. Walk at least 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times, brisk walking. Or if you have a step counter, at least 6,000 steps per day.
Nice.
Is good. So we've talked about sleep, talked about physical activity, water. Water is life. Your body is made about 70% of water. Please, let's have our water.
Let's have our water, please. On this note, let's bring our way.
Water is so you need at least 3 liters of water per day. Now the weather is cold. If you drink more, you wee a little. But good what's now food. Now we talked about food. So I won't say diet, but quality diet. Balanced diet. So in Ghana, when you are eating, they'll say, I'm eating rice and that, but the kabu, but elsewhere, I'm eating fish.
Exactly.
So the nice piece of fish, beef, and then the rice is small. It's a big debate whether how much banku we should eat. They said an egg size of banku. That caused a lot of uproar. But a small amount of carbohydrate.
Is a fist okay?
A fist okay. Small. Well, I was going to say something, but the small, just enough for you to be full.
Okay.
And your food should be colorful. So vegetables, everything there. So food, physical activity, and then social connection.
Okay.
You must have social connection.
Friends.
So, friends.
Yes, family.
Talk, laugh. When we were growing up, so I grew up with we used to play chaskele. We used to use our socks for football. We used to
Hunters ball,
chase Bela, and do all those.
all day inside.
Those are. But now they want iPad. 6-year-old wants an iPad. So those things don't make you so. I'm worried for the future of the children that we are bringing up. Everybody's driving to school. We used to walk to school, rain or shine.
Exactly.
Walking. So those things help the brain to be active. And then food. So fruits, vegetables. So have you had your 5 a day, 5 fruit portions a day? It's expensive to do that. Nuts. To reduce your alcohol. No smoking. If you are smoking, stop. Whether weed, anything,
shisha, all that stuff. Stop it. And use some local foods. It's interesting that some of our local herbs, like prekese, is used to treat epilepsy. It's used to manage epilepsy. It's good for brain health. So I see there's an explosion of prekese. Yes, we endorse that. So let's keep it going. Some of our local foods help our brain health. So let's continue that. Now, in the olden days, not olden days, we say palm oil is bad, coconut oil is bad. Now the Oyibo is drinking it because it is good. Our ancestors knew that Zumi, the portion is good for your brain. So one of the drugs we use to prevent stroke called Tocovid, which is one of our sponsors,
contains from palm oil, made from the red pigment of palm oil, which is vitamin E. So those are active foods for the brain. So let's promote our local, so lean food. So I tell our patients that if you are come to eat fufu and soup and you see your face in your soup, don't eat it. Your wife wants to kill you.
Don't see your face in the soup. Too much oil.
Face in your soup, please put it aside and say, wife, no, take the oil
Skim it
out.
off.
Okay, the fatty meat, beefy, so lean meat. All meat is good, but it should be lean.
Okay. Great stuff. I mean, I hope you're taking all of that down. Dr. Dot Glover, how do we protect our future with all of this stuff that Professor Akpaloo has given us? How do we protect the future?
So I think Prof. Akpaloo has mentioned, he's really touched the cracks of the matter. But I also want to mention that as you exercise your physical body, remember to exercise your brain as well. So how do you exercise your brain?
I'm curious.
Great. So you need to engage your brain, learn new skills, okay? Solve puzzles, things that make you think. As you're using your brain, you're forming new neural connections. And that is how longevity, that is how aging is actually prolonged or reduced so that you grow older. Okay, so it's very important that we exercise that. And when you do this, we say we are protecting our future because you are reducing the risk factors that will lead you to getting the strokes and all those things, the dementias we've already mentioned about. So if you practice these tips that we've given, chances are that you're going to live longer, you're going to enjoy a healthier life.
What's one surprising or interesting thing about the brain that most people will not know? Judging from your experience, so many years of working on people's brains.
The brain can plan ahead. So we dream. There are so many things that I don't want to delve into. Yeah. Your brain dreams. Your brain can predict. It's better than any AI tool.
I saw my mom tonight, but she's been dead like 11 years. But I saw her in my dream today.
Yeah.
So I came to lock the door.
Lock the door. So she's warning you. So your brain can plan. Your brain can predict. Your brain can protect. Your brain can know something is there before you even know it. So it is the seat of wisdom. It is your soul. So far as I'm concerned, I think our brain is the soul because it can know things, it can predict things, it can warn you in your dreams. So the Bible says we must take our dreams seriously. Your brain processes this. So it's an active organ. When you are asleep, that's when your brain works best. So if you are learning, so this is for the students. If you are learning, you want to get A in your exam, sleep early before your exam. Don't do last minute appointment. It is not there. Sleep early. Your brain is reorganizing things. Otherwise you think, why do you learn something so far away and you get to the exam room and your brain is like a processor. It goes back and so we must learn by, everybody learns differently, but we must learn by, we call it an open door. So picture things. If I ask you what happened in class 3, your brain will go back and it will open that door. So your brain is a fascinating organ. We know less than 10% of what the capability of the brain can do. So when the Bible said you can move mountains by thinking about it, I would try and move this camera away, but that's the Swamis and those things have harnessed.
Been able to do it,
powers, yes.
And levitate and everything.
Levitate.
Wow, the brain is a wonderful organ. How are we marking World Brain Day today, Dr. Glover?
Right. So we're having media engagements and
like this one.
Like this one. My other colleagues are in other places as well. But the World Federation of Neurology is actually having a webinar today.
Okay.
It will be on our social media handles. So if you check out on Facebook, we are Neurology Society of Ghana. On Instagram, we are Neuro Society Ghana, and then I think on Twitter, now X, it's Neurology Ghana.
Okay.
So if you check these out, you'll find the registration link there. It's at 12 p.m. GMT. But let me throw in a controversy here.
Throw it.
Right. So have you heard that people tell people, I love you with all my heart?
Yes, we hear that all the time.
Actually, it's actually your brain that
I love you with all my brain.
Exactly. You should be saying, I love you with all my
I love you with all my brain. Doesn't sound that sexy, but
I know, but it's true because it's a part of the brain called the amygdala, the hippocampus. They are actually the areas that form emotional connections, help you to remember perfumes, scents, helps you to remember those lovely moments that you share with people.
Okay.
And it's not your heart.
So it's actually the brain.
Exactly, but the brain does send signals to the heart that makes the heart beat.
Okay.
So boom, boom.
So let me also add another controversy. So we also say that men think at spinal level. So the brain sometimes does not control the organ down there. So it does things without you thinking about it. So that's a very important fact that we have to know too about. So I think World Brain Day is important for us because we need to improve access to care. We talked about prevention. Actually, there are 5 key strategies we are doing for World Brain Day. So prevention, which is important, access to care. We are unfortunately, technically, 1 neurologist per region, both pediatric and adults, and we need about 300 neurologists.
How many are you now?
We are 13 plus 3, 13 adults and two
pediatric neurologists and 2 neurodevelopmental.
So 17, but you need 300.
We need 300.
Oh, more people need to be trained.
More people need to be trained. So we need to improve that awareness. Yes, neurology initially was not taught very well in school. Thought it was very complex, but we've made it fun. So Frida is one of our great products. She was actually the first female trained in Ghana. So I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of her and our team of neurologists going. So it's a lot of work, but if we can prevent this, then our lives will be made easier. Awesome. Worldwide, it takes at least 6 months to see a neurologist. We have people from the UK, US coming.
It's better in Ghana.
To Ghana to have their test done, see a neurologist and go back. So we have some back and forth trade. So brain health is important because we need to improve access. So we've talked about access. We have to advocate, we have to educate, and we have to collaborate. We cannot do this alone. So we have a lot of multi-sectoral partners. Our nurses, brain nurses, our brain physiotherapists need to get you back into our occupational therapists. Unfortunately, most of them have left the country, so we need to do more speech and language therapists. We have our dietitians, we have our psychologists, we have our psychiatrists, we have our orderlies at the world who help us to push. So it's a and our pharmacists as well who help us to manage the medications that we are taking. So, and our psychologists, neuropsychologists. So it's a multi-sectoral, multidisciplinary teamwork that we are doing. We cannot do this alone, but we can prevent. So hypertension, number 1. So everybody here must check your blood pressure before you leave. At least check it. If you're above, we say 35. Now we have people in their 20s with strokes. So
you check it.
Check your blood pressure.
Okay.
Check your blood sugar. Check your cholesterol. Stop cigarette smoking. Reduce alcohol consumption. Do your physical activity. Sleep well. And have 1 wife or 1 girlfriend, then you will be at peace.
Sex is good for the brain.
Sex is good for the brain. I was reading an article that people who had issues, if you lose weight, if you are healthy, you have a good and healthy sex life, and your brain is active. We call it sexercise. Your brain will think all sorts of things. It can predict which position to go, where to go next, and everything.
On that sexy note and brainy note, I'd like to say thank you very much, President of the Neurological Society of Ghana, Professor Albert Akpalo, who's a consultant neurologist at the University of Ghana Medical School, and Dr. Frida Glover, neurologist at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Happy World Brain Day to all of you and all the neurologists. We thank you so much. Keep your brain healthy. Remember, it's brain health and prevention, protecting our future. From 2 great brains to another set of great brains who are sitting and standing by and ready, Valerie and Jay, with some of the greatest brains in the media, giving you Social Media Corner. Don't go anywhere.
Greetings to you people. It's a Monday. We are getting ready for the week. Shout outs to MTCE. So that's a school in the Mampong area. Again, starting our social media corner with vibes on vibes. So I'm doing this with Jay Gabra, just with a broad smile on his face.
Yes, because I love Mondays. Don't we all?
You do, huh?
Yes.
Producer Paul would be happy to hear this.
Oh, yes,
People,
yes.
how you can interact with us throughout this whole week, 055-55-6103. And on GTV Ghana, we are streaming live as well. We've started streaming on X and YouTube as well, so you can catch the fray. So for our very veteran, we are starting with a fake Paralympic team that has jackbed. What's happening?
Now, if you haven't heard, apparently back in April this year, when the Paralympic team went to Norway, they absconded. So now we are looking for the Paralympic team. Where have they gone to? And now the president of the Paralympic Committee comes to tell us that the team that went there, the social media reports are false. That wasn't the real team. So you ask yourself, where is the real team?
And where's the committee when the fake team was going to represent Ghana?
Yeah.
Like, weren't there some checks and balances? We are asking these questions.
Because
but
this happened
more
way in
importantly, where is the team, the fake team? People, where are you people? Where are you? We hear...
for a Paralympic team, where are you running to? I'm just wondering. Yeah. So, death, arrest and escape, false representation scandal hits para team.
A Ghanaian Paralympic team arrived in Norway for the Belgian City Marathon in April and absconded. National security reports revealed that the 11-member team failed to register to participate in the event, with one member dead, another arrested, while efforts have been put in place to apprehend and repatriate the other team members. Meanwhile, the Ghana Paralympic team president has revealed the team in Norway are impersonators, and no member of the Paralympic team have engaged in such situation.
Yeah, so because if you read the letter that came out, apparently the assistant coach, when he heard of the situation, he also collapsed,
right, and
died and all. Okay. So a lot of stories behind it.
Let's pull up a video.
Yes, from Samson Dean.
What I want to make clear to the Ghanaian media and the people of Ghana is that no Ghana Paralympic team member, no Ghana Paralympic team official, no Ghana Paralympic team coach, no Paralympic team member, no associate member, no foreign member of the Ghana Paralympic team, none, nobody, no official letter or no letter or any communication or anything that got to do with Ghana's qualification to the Olympic or to the Paralympic Games, or anything that got to do with applying for a visa to the Norwegian embassy. I am appealing to Ghanaians, and we want to make things clear that the Ghana Paralympic team have not applied for a visa. Never have anybody, never has the MPC Ghana, never have I signed any letter for and on behalf of the Ghana Paralympic team, and never have we or any of our assigns or officers of the Ghana Paralympic team or the MPC Ghana have applied for a visa at the Norwegian embassy. What you have seen in the media, it's a forged letter by some group of people who are into disability sports development, and Neste Foundation. And Neste is a person with disability, an amputated person who engaged himself in forgery of documents with a former Ghana Amputee Football Association Secretary General with name Theodore Maule Viwoto, who have since on the 18th of July been suspended indefinitely by the MPC Ghana. I want to appeal to the people of Ghana that the pictures, the images, the stories that is going viral has nothing to do with any member or anyone they see in the picture. None of them are or are involved or have or are associated to this.
So that's Samson Dean, the president of the Ghana Paralympic Committee, giving us the update on the fake team that went to Oslo.
But listen, so how did they represent Ghana? how did they go through? Like how did it happen?
And
They are
then to
representing
get-
Ghana.
Yeah, to get their visas and everything.
Which means there was actually an event that's happening.
Oh
right?
yeah. There was an
So
event.
does it mean that the real Paralympic team did not know? Like,
No, I think they had to leave before the real people
That's
came.
what's happening
Otherwise,
in
it
Ghana,
will
like-
raise a lot of questions like, I
we
thought you
are,
guys were the
we are
real
just
ones.
coming out of a fake cookathon, like, you know, we are just breathing. Like, what's all
Fake
this?
Guinness World Records, fake everything, and you know, it makes us look like a fake nation. We should get a world record for
Well,
that. I don't
across
know.
social media, the hashtag dissolve
I'm sure-
NCA board.
I'm sure Reverend Dr. Nanaya will tell you that a lot of relationships too are fake. So there's a lot of fake love going around. Yeah. It is what
Fake
it is.
nation,
But thank you,
fake
viewers, for showing
nation.
us real love. Yes, we appreciate you. We know
So
you are not fake.
let's go
Yes.
to our next trend.
Yes.
The hashtag dissolve NCA board is in the trends, people.
Number one on the trends. It's been trending all over the weekend, and people are calling for the. Hey, I almost said dissolvation, but I won't.
Don't let the devil use you.
For the NCA board to be dissolved. That's because of some are complaining that since April last year, when NCA declared MTN a significant market power and asked them to adjust their rates to compete with those other telecom companies within the country, some data users are now complaining about the way the rates have soared, and they are saying the NCA is the enemy. So the hashtag dissolve the NCA board was trending because they feel why should the rates soar? They were using MTN data zone, and now that it's gone, it's like now for them the data rates have soared. So it's like a lot of things happening on social media. That's one
So
that's
we'll call for the screenshots.
Yes,
we'll put
the
a
one-
couple of shots together, so we'll call for the screenshots. Yeah.
Yes, we can't build a digital era into bracket digitalization with these out of touch with reality data prices. It's cruel that we pay 50 Ghana cedis for 2.98 gig in 2024. Hashtag dissolve NCA board, hashtag retire. And Tech Entry says if the NCA Ghana truly needs fairness in the industry, then should negotiate for MTN 100 gig for 100 Ghana cedis or less, Telecel 140 gig for 100 cedis or less, and Airtel Tigo 200 gig for 100 cedis or less. That's how you protect consumers in this economy. Hashtag dissolve NCA board, hashtag NCA are the enemies. So Lister Wall also says last year I bought twice of MTN data for 399 Ghana cedis for the whole year, meaning 399 lasted for 6 months. This year, after the wickedness of his
Esla Owusu Okupo
and her insensitive NCA board members, I've bought 350 4 times already, and we are in 7 months. And the hashtag is there as well. Preside also says on July 8th, I bought 569 gig for 838 Ghana cedis. 10 days later, which is exactly 1 week and 3 days later, I bought another 188 gig for 350 Ghana cedis. So it's a lot of people complaining about the way the rates have soared for them. Nungwa Kadibi says, we used to buy 214 gig for 399 cedis on MTN. To the NCA forced MTN to increase prices. Now 100 cedis gets you 7 gig on MTN. Is that true?
Well, guess what? There's a content creator who actually has done a breakdown from the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So here's the video so you can understand what's happening.
Sometime in 2022, if you bought 399 cedis worth of MTN mobile data, you would get 214 gigabytes of data. Early 2023, and that same amount will get you 182 gigabytes. And now in 2024, though the 399 cedis offer is no longer available, there's 350 cedis. Like we wouldn't notice what was being done. And that gives you about 93 gigabytes of data. In terms of value for money, in 2022, a CD was worth 536 megabytes, and then down to 456 megabytes in 2023. And now a CD is worth 265 megabytes. In percentage change, 536 megabytes to 465 megabytes is an increment of 15%. But 456 megabytes down to 265 megabytes though, that's a whopping 42% increment, and that's wild. What does the future hold though? Is the trajectory going to continue? Is the next increment even going to be worse? And how long do we have until that happens? With Starlink being illegal.
Yes.
Wow.
So there
Crazy figures there.
Yeah, he's doing the breakdown for us. So NCA Ghana says MTN Ghana has a significant market power, owning about 75% of market share. So they should match everybody, and so that's why you have the rates as it is.
So in studio, one of our guests in studio is just telling us that he bought 30 gig. And by the next morning, it was finished, like MTN data. What's your experience with data usage? Socials are open. Our WhatsApp is 055-556-1034. Let us know what your experience with data usage is. We are heading on to our next trend.
Yes, and then the U.S. president has dropped out of the U.S. presidential race coming in November, and he has nominated his vice president, Kamala Harris. He penned a letter to the whole of America yesterday when the news broke out. And it's been interesting. You see a lot of pressure in the last few days, especially after the debates with Donald Trump.
Yes.
And it looks like now he has listened to them. There was a COVID diagnosis and all. And okay, so this is the letter he penned to his fellow Americans. Over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. And he goes on to say, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Yes, so that's just the gist of the letter the president wrote to his fellow Americans.
Well, not nominated, endorsed.
Endorsed, yes.
Endorsed.
She has filed now to run for the ticket.
If that happens and she gets the nod, she becomes the first female president. So this is shared from his
X as well.
His X handle says, my fellow Democrats have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. With a beautiful picture of the two of them.
I understand reports indicate that ever since he made this announcement, a lot of donations have been flowing into the Democratic Party. It's like they're happy with the decision. And it looks like now a lot of people are showing a lot more interest in the election because it looks like if Trump was coming back and Joe Biden is there, it's like, what are we doing?
It's just interesting times ahead.
It's just interesting to see. So if she gets the nod for the Democratic Party and she wins, then she becomes the first female president. And who happens to be black as well. So we did Barack and Kamala.
Touche. Yes.
And for those calling for Michelle Obama, she has made it very, very clear. She will not run. Never, ever. Never. So please, take that one out of your mind.
Mama, she values her peace.
Oh, yeah. She said that all those years in the spotlight, she's done.
Yeah, she values her peace.
She's not going to do it again.
So to some people who are in the spotlight, and we are loving it, and we think everybody should put their spotlight this week on this group. So the Basta Boys, they've been here before. So they're a group of professionals that just decided, like, we're going to take the law into our own hands and do what the authorities would not do. And so
let's call them volunteers.
Say things as they are.
No, but when like, they take the law into their own hands, to make it sound.
That part. Okay, and so they clean Accra where they can. They clean, and then people volunteer. They've decided to take it a notch further, higher, and so they were in Kumasi.
And look at this beautiful before and after pictures.
Soulful line. So there's the before, and there's the after. Basta Boys. 3 TV shouts to you.
Before. If not for video evidence, I bet many of you will not believe there is pavement all over this place. Pavement. Ayatuya buaye fefefepa ewa hanum nyina na ehofu ye pa. Aha eya sofu line before and after part 1. And I tell you honestly, the after will shock you.
After. No G's. Choice.
J-Val on the beat, really. So to our next trend,
you have a better idea.
to our next trend and the last trend for today, and also our mood for the week up until Wednesday when we meet you again. This is like when you support something, do it with your whole heart. Support something, do it with your whole heart. No fake love anywhere. So we chanced across a Ronaldo fan.
Cristiano Ronaldo fan.
A Cristiano Ronaldo fan, and his passion.
Yeah.
So just enjoy this. Our mood for the week, people.
Messi.
Yeah. Would you take him over Ronaldo? Who's the best of all time?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
And Ronaldo's the best.
Why?
Stats, more goals. He plays better.
How does he play better?
Right, Messi can't score headers. Ronaldo can.
But Messi has more Ballon d'Ors. He has a World Cup. He's won more.
Don't you tell you how many were rigged? One rigged off Iniesta, the one rigged off Neymar, the one rigged off Van Dijk, the one rigged off Haaland, the one rigged off Lewandowski, the one rigged off Ribéry. That's 6 he's rigged.
6? I don't think he... I think he's rigged like 2.
Ronaldo deserves the one over Luka Modric. He's rigged 6.
But where's Ronaldo's World Cup?
Oh, don't even get me! Don't even get me started.
I got you there!
Oh, so Di Maria scored the goal for the Copa America. Messi didn't do anything to help Di Maria. He didn't get the assist, he didn't get the goal, and Di Maria scored. He got carried, and the World Cup was rigged.
The World Cup was rigged? Why was it rigged?
Oh, penalty to Argentina, penalty to Argentina, penalty to Argentina. That's all.
You think the rest were biased towards Argentina?
Yes.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay, wow. Finley does not like Messi. He really doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, people, we are rushing out of the social media corner. But for the Jama vibe we started with, it's MTCE, Mampong Technical College of Education. People, see you on the flip side. Studio 5.
Welcome back to the show. I am Altiti Saida Sadek. It's now time for the update on GTV Breakfast. Lots happening on the local front to bring you what's happening with beach soccer, para Olympics, and even the Olympics in Paris as well. Let's begin our tour from the beach soccer, the Black Sharks, who ran against Cote d'Ivoire in the AFCON qualifiers. Now, there was a riot. Ghana's beach soccer national team, the Black Sharks, secured a significant advantage in their quest for the 2024 AFCON beach soccer qualification. In a thrilling first leg encounter, the Black Sharks recorded a 5-3 win against the Sand Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. The match took place at the Emancipation Beach Arena in Keta on Saturday, July 21, 2024. And the game was a spectacle of athletic prowess and strategic play, with both teams showcasing their skills on the sandy pitch. Now, the Black Sharks demonstrated exceptional teamwork and coordination, which allowed them to outmaneuver their Ivorian counterparts. The spectators were treated to a fast-paced and high-energy game, underscoring the growing popularity of beach soccer in the region. Key players like Alpha Kwame Tosu, Wise Nyamadi, Tiko Kini delivered standout performances for the Black Sharks' ability with their offensive strategies providing too much to stand against the Elephants' defense. Now, the victory not only boosted the morale of the Ghanaian team, but also set a hopeful tone for their upcoming matches. The Black Sharks' ability to maintain composure and the pressure was evident, and the tactical approach was lauded by their fans. As the Black Sharks prepare to head to Abidjan for the return encounter slated for July 26th to 28th, anticipation is building among fans and sports enthusiasts. The Black Sharks' performance in the first leg has certainly raised expectations for an equally compelling display in Cote d'Ivoire.
And it seems Tiko realized that, and look at the way he kicked the ball. Yeah, the ball bounced in front. Average Mighty Warriors, and I don't know, the list can go on and on. About 11 players are all from this zone. And and Ghana get a 5th goal. That's amazing.
And congratulations to the Black Sharks. And the news of Ghana's Paralympic Committee, Samson Dean has sparked para-athletes Norway scandal. The president of the National Paralympic Committee, NPC, Samson Dean, has refuted claims that he authorized a group of Ghanaian para-athletes to travel to Norway for the Bergen Marathon this year. This comes after a report that 9 out of an 11-member team were missing upon their arrival in Oslo for the event. Now, according to a statement from the Ministry of National Security addressing the Ministries of Youth and Sport and Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, para-athlete Nana Enchi has been detained by individuals mentioned in the statement and has accused the parties involved of forging his signature on the visa application letter used by the alleged representatives.
To the Ghanaian media and the people of Ghana is that no Ghana Paralympic team member, no Ghana Paralympic team official, no Ghana Paralympic team coach, no Paralympic team member, no associate member, no foreign member of the Ghana Paralympic team, none, nobody, no official letter or no letter or any communication or anything that got to do with Ghana's qualification to the Olympic or to the Paralympic Games or anything that got to do with applying for a visa to the Norwegian embassy. I am appealing to Ghanaians and we want to make things clear that the Ghana Paralympic team have not applied for a visa. Never have anybody, never has the NPC Ghana, never have I signed any letter for and on behalf of the Ghana Paralympic team, and never have we or any of our assigns or officers of the Ghana Paralympic team or the NPC Ghana have applied for a visa at the Norwegian embassy. What you have seen in the media, it's a forged letter by some group of people who are into disability sport development, and Neste Foundation. And Neste is a person with disability, an amputated person who engaged himself in forgery of documents with a former Ghana Amputee Football Association Secretary General with name Theodore Maule Viwoto, who have since on the 18th of July been suspended indefinitely by the NPC Ghana. I want to appeal to the people of Ghana that the pictures, the images, the stories that is going viral has nothing to do with any member or anyone they see in the picture. None of them are or are involved or have or are associated to these people. The letters that was sent with my signature on it were forged by these guys, which is NSAC and Theodore Maule Viwoto, who did all this forged document, fraudulently used my document to acquire visas for some people who are very unknown to the Paralympic family. I want to appeal to everyone that no member of the Ghana Paralympic team have applied or have engaged in such very bad situation. We apologize, and we are going to make sure that we put structures into place that will stop such future occurrences where people can forge my signature to acquire visas. Thank you.
Rather unfortunate news there. That's Samson Dean. They will definitely bring you any updates regarding that matter. But let's head to basketball for the 2024 Olympics in Paris, because Team USA continued its preparation for a run at a 5th straight gold medal in the men's basketball ahead of the 2024 Olympics in Paris on Saturday. The team beat South Sudan in a 101-100 thriller in London in the first of 2 exhibition games at the O2 Arena. LeBron James layup with 8 seconds left sealed the game, in which Team USA was down by 14 points at halftime. Khalid Jones had a triple-double for South Sudan, 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists in an electric performance, missing a jumper with 4 seconds left. that would have clinched an upset. Team USA will next play Germany on Monday, that's today, before taking off for France. The US has already defeated other Olympic teams in preparation for Paris, and last week the team beat Serbia and Australia in 2 games held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Those games follow the win over Canada and Las Vegas on July 10. At the Olympics, Team USA will play Group C games in Lyon on July 28th at Serbia, July 31 South Sudan, and August 3 Puerto Rico. The knockout rounds then shift to Paris with the quarterfinals on August 6th and the semifinals on August 8th and gold medal game on August 10th at Accor Arena.
say morale. You do Jama for school?
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. And you're an athlete, so
Yes.
people were doing Jama for you.
Yes. But then I love doing Jama too.
Yes. What was your name when you were in school? When you were flying down the tracks?
I did Mosquito.
Mosquito. You did run, Valerie.
Mosquito.
Give me the baton. So these corn buttons are from a farm near Asaman Kese. I went there yesterday.
Okay.
And apparently, if you feed this kind of corn to chicks and chickens, they give you yellow yolk. And when you feed them white corn, they give you white yolk. Secrets of farming.
The light bulb just went off. Boing.
Bing.
Okay.
Another one. The size of the testicles of a goat depends on their age. I did a testicular inspection at the farm yesterday.
So let me start from age 20.
Goats don't live that long.
Okay, so from what, 1 month?
Let's go to headlines.
It's like
from corn and
start
balls
of the corn.
to headlines. Daily Graphic.
EC will be fair. Chairperson assures 2024 election stakeholders.
We will protect your ballots, Mahama affirms.
Parliament passes Ghana Civil Aviation Bill. Bill seeks to bolster transparency, excellence.
And Joe Biden withdraws from U.S. presidential race, endorses Kamala Harris. So it's bye-bye Biden.
Yes.
Okay, but he's still president.
Bye-bye Biden.
He's just not running for the next time.
Yeah. Bye-bye Biden.
Okay.
Daily Guide says, champion African education, Obasanjo to Educhum.
SDA's not voting on December 7th, says the church.
Right. Winneba hosts ECOWAS Parliament.
NDC sold state lands to cronies.
Right. Credible elections or coup are two forcing.
And of course, Joe Biden's big news, international news, is dropping out. Great speech. And good he endorsed, but he's out. The Chronicle.
Biden. Ghana's minister makes history. Educhum appointed to lead a team of experts to reform education in Africa.
Simpa hosts ECOWAS Parliament again. That's a picture of the MP for Efutu, Mr. Akpanyomarkin.
Okay. Free salaries of irresponsible parents or Chihine. I support 200 bags of cement.
Ghana exports petrol to 7 West African countries, says the National Petroleum Authority.
Okay, and Badia promises rapid development of Africa.
And the verse today is from Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden.
Yes,
The Chronicle.
And the new publisher leading with Winneba ready for ECOWAS, Akpanyomarkin assures.
Economist Lords Baumia's tax system proposal.
MPA expands petroleum exports to Senegal, Gambia.
And Ibrahim Muhammad donates 20 vehicles to Liberia. Hide nothing, fear nothing. The new publisher.
Right.
Okay.
The Ghanaian Observer. University of Local Governance and Development to start soon.
Bust posts sterling financial performance in 3 years.
Akufo-Addo to commission 320 new homes for police service.
And there's something on the Dr. Baumia's proposed tax system. The Badia story again.
It's still there.
Ghanaian Observer.
Okay.
Those are the headlines. What do we look forward to later?
So we have two influencers, SDK and Omati. They are going to be having like a battle. Who's going to eat the most quickest?
Okay. All right.
So an interview about food.
The hungry interview.
The hungry interview.
Okay. I'm not giving you my corn because they may boil this and eat.
Hey, cover the story, man.
We'll see you.
Hasta la vista.
All right. We'll see you. We've got the headlines with my guests just down the road. See ya. Okay, hello, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfasts. We have our headlines this morning for you. I'm happy to have my guests seated and all ready for the conversations. On the far left, I have Philemon Lar, who is a member of the National Communications Team for the National Democratic Congress. In the middle, I have Awal Mohammed. He's a member of the National Communications Team for the New Patriotic Party. And then sitting next to me is Duke Ni Afote Mensah, who is a member of the New Force Movement. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to the show. How was your weekend? I was on a farm. This is the evidence. How was your weekend? Philemon, first time here?
My first time here.
Good to have you
here.
here.
To your sister's studios.
Yes.
But I follow you on social media, Facebook. Kojo's farm. Kojo is doing amazing work Kojo is doing.
Yes.
And I could see the gratitude in Kojo's eyes, knowing that you'd gone to amplify the work he does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fundamental. At the core of it is the fact that young people in this country can do agribusiness, and that is why President Mahama has promised that at the core of the next NDC government would be a major intervention in agriculture. The supposed one district, one planting for food and jobs and all of it, it's been a disaster. President Mahama will roll out a program that allows people like Kojo, that allows people like the farmers in Bunkurugu or other parts of this country to do well with agribusiness, because that is the future. Food sustainability is a very important aspect of our national life, and President Mahama is committed to that.
How was your weekend, though?
Fantastic.
Wow, how are you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
It was okay. As usual, I went to Kumasi. I spent most of the weekend.
Is that your base?
Yes.
Okay.
So definitely, I was in Kumasi.
All right.
But touching on what Kojo is able to do, I have not seen it, but I can tell you that you remember about 6 months ago, the Youth Employment Agency launched Youth in Agri program at the University of Ghana. And as I speak, the update is that we may send you to the farm so that you see the farm. We're sending about 500 youth to the various farms. We have a location in Kumau where we have 1,000 acres. We have Branam in Wenchi, which is in the Bono region, which we have 1,000 acres, and we have one in Sacha Central, and we have started tilling the land. We're sending 500 youth. We're giving them 5 acres each. We'll give them allowance every month of 500 cedis whilst being on the farm. So it is something that we have started, and we will want to really boost the agriculture in this country. So it's something that the Youth Employment Agency has started. So nothing new. Maybe if in the next generation he's able to really come back again, maybe he can continue what we have started. But we have started it in earnest with the Youth Employment Agency led by Kofi Japan.
Okay, Duke.
Yes, boss.
How's your weekend?
Perfect. Been trying to make sure that the youth come on board when it comes to issues of national affairs, creating awareness that this time around we are not joking. We want to make sure that the youth be able to take on the affairs of the nation and also be the future leaders, as they really say. In respect to the Agri-Kojo, that's the future. But you know, funny enough, most countries depend on agriculture to boost their economy.
Sure.
So it's a collective work, and this is what we wish to aspire, wish to do. That we should also see agriculture like accounting, like banking, like anything.
What's the New Force saying about agriculture?
The New Force is making sure that we, the youth, venture into agriculture. We encourage you as individuals not to look down on agriculture, think that, oh, maybe agric is a kind of profession that is not. No. Agriculture sustains the economy. Because at the end of Ghana, we are not producing anything. Look at the amount of tomatoes we import into the country from Burkina Faso every time. Several millions of dollars. Whilst we have arable land, anywhere in Ghana, when you plant, it goes. So what are we doing? There are lots of things that we want to do to make sure that at the end of the day, we stop imports, so that we'll be able to maximize and internally generate funds from agriculture to boost our economy. We don't need to import farm produce, not. So it's funny when I hear people boasting about this. No. This should be what we should do. And every youth must understand that agriculture holds the economy. Thank you.
All righty. Well, what's on your mind this morning? What's exercising your brain cells on World Brain Day, which is today?
Yes, I think Dr. Bawumia is on the campaign trail, and I am excited to say that he has completed both Northern, Northeast, Northern and Savannah region yesterday. And he will be in Wa West and Wa East this morning to really start the campaign of the Upper West. So, we announced that he is going to really do the 57 constituencies of the North within 3 weeks. And he's still on course, and it's left with just 11 plus 15, about 26 constituencies. Today, if he clears the 2, it will be left with 24 constituencies of the Upper West and Upper East. And I'm excited that indeed he's there campaigning. Yesterday at Bole Bamboy, I shared a video of the chief imam who said that in Bole Bamboy they can boast of say that the best party for them has been MPP, because the tarring of the Bole to Bamboy road was done by the MPP government, and some other projects that has been ongoing, and some completed in the Bole Senior High School and the Free Senior High School and some few other things. So they are excited. If you will see the number of crowd and the people following the Vice President, especially within the Savannah region, I am exceedingly excited that he has completed that region with a lot of assurance that we may get, we may have to win that region for the first time, even though we have 3 out of the 7 constituencies. We have won 3 out of the 7 constituencies when he was Vice President. So now that he is President, I believe that we may be able to win 4 out of the 7 constituencies and give the NDC. This is the backyard of former President Mahama. And before Dr. Bawumia was elected as appointed as the running mate, we didn't have even a single seat in the Savannah region. But now, at least we can boast of 3 when he was the vice presidential candidate in 2020. So I am excited, and I am happy that Dr. Bawumia has been able to really sail through all these regions, from his region, from the northern region, and some few other places. So I'm happy this morning that the reception is good.
All right, Philemon, what's up? What's politically what's going on?
Well, for me, it's just
you guys had a big walk over the weekend.
We did. That's one very important thing that happened. We had people come out in their thousands, defying the rain, defying the weather, defying their health status, coming out with one voice saying that we want John Mahama. John Mahama is a savior for this country. Looking at how reckless this country has been run. Just today, this morning at 5 a.m., the distinguished Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa published something very revealing. A contract inflated up to the tune of $34.9 million days before the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, handed over or was relieved of his duty as finance minister. He had gone ahead to sign an inflated contract, $34.9 million US, to a company that was just set up a few years ago, in the name of providing spare parts for the ambulances that were imported into this country just a few years ago. We're just so tired of the litany of corruption. Every month, several aspects of corruption come out to reveal the poor, empty thinking and management of this country. And you see, there's something that's almost like a corruption fatigue, because there are too many scandals in this country. So many of them. So many scandals. We are tired of the corruption. I think you should send a message to Nanado. Tell Bawumia, we are tired of corruption. The people of this country deserve better leadership. We are tired of that pungent, choky, ammonia-like corruption. Why? Why do that to the poor teacher, the poor farmer, the students of this country, the nurses, the teachers? We're tired. Look at the Abosoka. Look, I'm speaking to you passionately, my brother. You're my brother from the north. The Abosoka spare part dealers.
Excites you this
morning? The Abosoka spare part dealers are tired because the exchange rate is so bad. Never in the history of this country has the dollar to the cedi ratio been 1 cedi to 15 cedis. These people want to import spare parts into this country. They cannot. But yet you give the business of importing spare parts at an inflated rate to a stooge of a company. Nanado Bawumia, why do you do that? You came on the altar of humility, on the altar of integrity. You told us to try you. The people of Ghana have tried you, and what they are seeing is nothing but massive disappointment. Nothing but massive disappointment. Gross mismanagement of this country. The people of Ghana should look out. Let's uproot them. Let's vote them out. Let's reject them. Let's say enough of arrogance. Enough of corruption. Enough of incompetence.
What does the new force think? You heard them. I'm sure you have your own agenda. I mean, what's new on your side? What's your candidate up to?
Thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And as we all see, you see the hula baloo going on between the two. That is why the new force is here. We are the third force. Now, this is the time we need change. I urge each and every Ghanaian to understand there is one fact that I want you to know. You see, we've given the mantle over the years. We've trusted both parties to be able to lead us or shepherd us to a destination which will make our lives comfortable as a people. The average Ghanaian cannot even boast of the average lifestyle. And we've seen these two regimes over the years. They come with so many promises. Funny enough, they are so versatile. And you see, they change from here to there, and it seems as if, oh, it will be better. There is nothing going to be better if me and you, don't say it's enough. Let's try something new. Let's give the opportunity to the young men. Let the old men also sit back and nurture us. Because indeed, if ideally, we are the future leaders, and up to now, we do not even have opportunities to be part of national development and projects, be taken into consideration when we are having policies made, when we are taking decisions. What's the minimum wage now? We are all talking. What's the minimum wage? Ask yourself, can we even survive on the minimum wage? Think about our economy now.
What's the New Vision's new plan? I mean, you've attacked both of them. So what is your plan?
Our plan is to be able to reform the system, to be able to hold people accountable, to be able to empower the youth, provide a haven for them, for their potentials to be tapped in.
How?
All right. Now, we are not producing anything. There's nothing like industrialization here. When was the last time you even saw us produce toothpaste? I wonder what we do. All we do is just to import. That is why they are complaining about the city. There is no currency chasing the city for the stock market to be able to favor the Ghana city. No. We are only using our currency to import products. So we must maximize and internally be able to produce, to satisfy us as a country. And then when we have enough, we should be able to export. But now we are not doing anything. And our youths, there is no future for them. We don't encourage entrepreneurship. How many of us will be able to tap funds when we have ideas that we want to develop on?
But your boss is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And he's a youth.
That is why we need somebody like Nana Kwame Bediako, His Excellency, to do this job. He's the man who has a vision. You can see the kind of buildings he puts up. Not a joke. We want to transform Ghana to a better place, to have international standards. So that then me and you, we don't even need to travel because we are comfortable within our environment. We should be able to create policies that will favor the average Ghanaian. Those who are not working. The mother who is single. Even when you are going to give birth, there are no incentives. You see, we as stakeholders, our interests are not taken into consideration when policies are being taken. It favors sane people, and it should not be like that. No one is held accountable. You make promises, at the end of the day, you don't fulfill it. We should stop the manifesto and it should be national development agenda only. So that will hold you accountable to the things you say you will do. But you don't come and make promises and then you have funds and you can't account for anything. And you come and sit down again and again and again and repeatedly. You want us to give you. It's not happening this time around, my brother. We are moving on and we are making sure that we, the youth, the future is now. In the next 20, when we add 20 years to our years, how well would we be? In the next 20 years, it's going to be the same NDC NPP. No, we do not want that, my brother. Let's be smart. Let's change the mantle. Let's give the youth the chance to be able to lead the future. You and I can do it. Yeah, this is our time. So please, let them sit down a little bit and look at us and help us. Nurture us for us to be able to do greatness.
Awal and Philemon, on your rounds, do you get the feeling that people are getting tired of both of you as they feel, the new force feels, and then they're looking for something different? I'll start with you, Awal.
I don't think so. Looking at, especially where I come from as an MPP political party, a lot of Ghanaians have seen concrete what we have been able to really provide when we come into government. We looking at the Fourth Republic, we have been able to do 16 years now, or 15 years. We're into our 16 years. Yes. So within the last 15 years, you can boast of health insurance, which is pro-poor policy that we have been able to bring, free maternal care, MASLOC, free senior high school, and a lot of things that resonate with the ordinary Ghanaian. So when we move around, what we hear from them is, what are you going to do differently? And that is the reason Dr. Bawumia has said that he is bringing some bold decisions, bold solutions to the problems that we have in this country. So as for us from the MPP, I know that because we have done we have implemented policies that every single Ghanaian will associate with it. For instance, the free senior high school. There is no single household across the country that has not benefited from free senior high school. So if someone is saying that I'm the third force, he should be able to propose some solutions that we believe that are different from ours. For instance, the entrepreneurship he's talking about. We started the NEIP. Ghana Enterprises Agency has supported a lot of the entrepreneurs with support from EU and some few other multinational agencies and so on. So for entrepreneurship, that is what we even encourage as a political party. So as for us with the MPP, Youth Employment Agency is one classical example that President Kufuor brought into force, and a lot of people have been employed. In Ashanti region alone, as I speak right now, we have about 8,500 people on our payroll. In Ashanti region alone, at Youth Employment Agency, this is something President Kufuor brought in 2006. As a program, it was changed in 2009 into JIDA, and you saw what happened. The first CEO that was appointed as JIDA went to jail because he mismanaged the place. And it is back into our hands, and we're doing a lot of work with the Youth Employment Agency. As for us, with the MPP, we believe that we have done enough for Ghanaians to really give us the mandate to be able to continue.
What is the observing the countries that have gone for elections this year, a lot of incumbent governments have lost power because of cost of living issues. It's a big topical issue that affects everybody in Ghana. What do you tell people who are going through a rough time right now in terms of cost of living? What do you tell the business community who are spending more and more cedis to find the dollars to do their imports? Cost of living, how is your campaign addressing this? Because this is affecting everybody.
Yeah, so it is not most countries that really change government because of harsh economic conditions. For instance, Nigeria did not change.
We're talking about the elections here, 2024, this year.
Yes,
a lot of the elections that have happened right now, cost of living was on top of people's minds.
I'm saying that last year in Nigeria, if you have even money in your bank account, when they were during the elections, if you have money into your account, you cannot even take to the tune of 5,000, equivalent of 5,000 cedis. Yes, there was shortage of even petrol. People couldn't even get petrol to buy. But they saw that the country had gone through some hardships. If you are to change government, the hardships will be more. So they want stability, and that's the reason they voted for the incumbent government to win. And now Nigeria has experienced some stability, at least. So it is not every government that has said that. Yes, we acknowledge the challenges that Ghanaians are facing. It's the reason why Dr. Bawumia is saying that the business person, we will make sure that if he is elected as president, we will have a flat rate in the ports so that the importer will not pay higher for import duties, and it will be paid in cedis. So if it is 40-footer container and it is 10,000 cedis, every commodity that you import should be 10,000 cedis, and this is what Dr. Bawumia is proposing.
How do you respond to those who say the man is number 2 in the government right now? He has great ideas. Why doesn't he help his boss to implement some of these ideas now and use that as a fortification to say, you know what, I'm not even in power yet, but I'm helping this government to become stronger, to put in innovative issues. Vote for me, I'll continue when I come.
So
when you hear such arguments, how do you respond?
Different times with different kinds of solutions. We started in 2017. In 2017 to between 2017 and 2022, January, the cedi, yes, between 2017 and 2022, January, the cedi moved from 4.2 to 5.9. Yes, it was in 2022 that we experienced the shock, and this shock happened across the world to the extent that in June 2022, you have to get more than £1 to buy $1. So this case came within this period. And we had 54% depreciation of the cedi. UK had to change 3 prime ministers within 2022 because of the economic hardships.
Their currency did not depreciate to the extent of Ghana's. Ghana's depreciation is almost the worst worldwide.
So I'm saying that UK,
everybody suffered, but we suffered a lot.
UK changed prime ministers, 3 of them within 2022 alone, within 1 year. History that has never happened. Our brother was there.
We don't have prime ministers in Ghana.
Yes.
We don't go to elections like that.
But
So
I'm
it's
saying that these are because of economic hardships. Today, the UK economy is in recession.
But the Conservatives are out of power. The incumbent party has been blamed for all the problems. They've been there for 14 years, and they are out.
Because they couldn't provide proper solutions. And that is the reason they were taken out. We're saying that we face challenges. Dr. Bawumia was the head of economic management between 2017 and 2019 when the country experienced a lot of growth.
Is he still the head of the community?
He's still the head.
Okay.
And we faced challenges in 2022. After 2022, at least we had a lot of issues. For the first time in the history of this country, it has never happened that 2 years ago, the dollar to the cedi is 15 cedis. It got to, in 2022 December, it got to 17 cedis. Today, it is still 15 cedis for 2 years. So there is stability. Yes, it has never happened that in 2022 December, it was 15 cedis. It moved to even 17 cedis. Measures were put in place, and today it is still 15.
But when you came in, how much was it?
So there is relative stability.
But when you came in, how much was it?
It was 4.2. You see, there is a starting point for everyone.
We're not at 15,
You see, yes, you see, there is a starting point for every government. They made 1.2 and sent it to 4.4
in 8 years.
Yes,
in 8 years by 2 points.
Mathematics. What is 2 points?
2. Well,
then you don't understand maths.
2 points.
You see, when you move from 1.2, just check. Just do the mathematics. 1.2 to 4.2 is around 300%. Yes. Just check. Do the mathematics.
You are right.
So
I'm saying that it's around 300%.
Is your argument that we are doing better? We are doing better now?
Yes, because you see, if you check the level of depreciation under the NDC when there were no exogenous shocks, and it moved from 1.2 to it moved for about 300%. If they were still in government by now, it should have been 20 cities or 30 cities. And you could tell that
you can't speculate like that. Let's deal with what is happening now.
It's not speculation. I'm saying that someone
you
who
can't
moved
know
from,
that
who
it would
moved,
have gone to 30 back then.
Yes, I'm saying that
somebody else was in power. What we're talking about right now is that you came in at 4 point something. It's now at 15 plus. Even some places
what
even
the Ghanaian
16.
importer needs is stability, and not it coming down, because of the nature of the economy we're running. We're running an economy that is import driven. That is the reason we started with a 1 district, 1 factory, so that at least we can have substitutes.
Has it helped?
It has. At least.
The imports have come down?
At least some commodities. For instance, juice and some few other things, because Equinfi has also come in with something into the market. At least this is something that we have started to make sure that we change the face of the economy so that it will be export driven. And you cannot do it within 1 year or 2 years. It should be gradual.
So you want more time?
Yes, because if Dr. Bawumia is to continue what he has started, you know that definitely he should be able to really move Ghana to the next level.
All right, Philemon, I know you want to make some points on this, but I want to take a quick phone call and I'll come back to you on this. So there's a story which is almost like a continuing story, because it started last year and caused a lot of devastation to the people of the Southern Volta area. So VRA is preparing for potential Akosombo Dam spill with enhanced community engagements. In response to last year's devastating Akosombo Dam spillage, the Volta River Authority has ramped up community engagement efforts as a precautionary measure against potential future spills. They are planning to release water at a rate of 50,000 cubic feet per second, which falls within phase 1 of the spill plan. Let's find out if the community is being engaged. On the line, we have Togbi Kosi Nego VI, who is from the Mepe community. He's a Mankralo of the Mepe traditional area. Togbi, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast. Has your community been engaged by the Volta River Authority about potential spillages this year?
Good morning, Mr. Kafui.
Yes, sir.
My greetings to your viewers.
Thank you.
Yes, we had and stakeholders engagement last 2 weeks with VRA, and they came to inform us about the proposed control spillage that may happen, and they came to educate us on the impact of that proposed precautionary spill from the Akosombo Dam. They said they were going to spill about 50,000 CFS, which will largely remain in the river channels. We asked a lot of questions, and one of those questions were, what was learned from last year's spillage? If something has been learned, and what has been done about it? We talked about resettlements and compensations. We also asked of the date VRA is proposing to spill.
Yes.
But all these questions have not been answered. They have not been able to tell us when the time and date they will want to spill. So we are still in the air. There has not been any structure, temporary structure, built anywhere that if what they are saying that they are going to spill, if it should be more than, like if what happened last year should happen again, where the people will be moved to. There has not been any structures or any arrangement made for our people to move to a safer location when that spill begins. And so we asked so many questions of which they have not been able to answer. And so we see it as no lesson has been learned from last year's spillages. VRA is not prepared, and the community is also not prepared for that. And so VRA needs to come out and answer all these questions.
How are the members of your community responding to this particular stakeholder? First of all, who came over to come and speak to you for this stakeholder engagement? Who was there?
VRA. VRA came with their team.
Okay.
And our DCEs were there. They invited leaders from the other traditional areas to also come. And then the assemblymen were also there.
What's the response of your people, of your community members? How do they feel about this particular news where you say they don't know when the spillage will be happening? There's no word about a potential place of refuge should there be over spillage. What's their response?
Mr. Kafui, it's really difficult. Hearing it breaks their hearts because they think what happened last year, they were going to go through it again. And all the questions that we have been asking is the same question that they asked. That what happened last year, they have not even recovered from it. And then it's going to happen again. So they have been forgotten. By now, the interministerial committee should have met with us, know our problems, and then address them before this engagement. Because if you have not met us, you will not. VRA is saying that the interministerial committee will take care of all our needs, that the government is working on it. But as at now, it's almost a year, and there has not been any solution.
You mean the interministerial committee has not met you?
No.
Since the spillage from last year?
The committee, as a committee, has not met us.
So what's your message now to the VRA and those who will be responsible for this particular spillage, if it should happen?
Yes, they should come clear. They should let us know the specific volume, the volume of water that is going to be spilled. They are saying that is going to just be in the river channel. But we know that there are lowlands. The water banks are not the same. The level of the water banks are not the same. So there are certain areas that are lowland that the water can use to get into the towns.
So just throwing it back to last year, when they were about to spill last year, was there a community engagement? Did you know exactly when the water would be spilled?
This time around is different. This time around, they have met us. Last year, they didn't meet us. And so this is the only difference that happened between this year and last year. Last year, we were not given a date.
So last year, there was no communication. Nobody told you that on this particular day, there's going to be a spillage, it's going to be this amount, and you woke up one day and then there was water in your town. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the same information that were put out there, that was the same information we received.
Describe these stakeholder engagements to us. So when VRA comes to your town, who do they meet with?
They invited us to a meeting at Best Care.
Right. And who are the participants of the meeting? The traditional leaders and who else?
The traditional leaders, the management of public relation management from VRA, and some engineers from VRA, assemblymen, the DCE, other opinion leaders.
Okay. Was a member of parliament part of those meetings?
No.
Okay. So this is the district, local authorities, the engineers, MEPE community, the traditional leaders, and then you have this meeting.
Yes.
So you really want them to come back and give you some hard information. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is there any other thing else you want to say before I let you go, sir?
Yes. I said earlier that our people have not been compensated. There has not been any resettlement. And we have been waiting for engineers, planners, and architects to come and do a proper survey and see where the water, the last year's flood came through, to see if they can block it or if something can be done about it. As at now, nothing has been done about it. And so, is it going to is it going to happen again next year? After this year, is it going to be an annual thing? We need to sit down as stakeholders and then resolve this once and for all, because we know that the raining pattern has changed. And so we cannot, anytime we are planning, we are trying to recover from something that happened to us last year, and then they will come with another news again, of which they have not been able to resolve last year's problem. Our people are still living in hunger. Our people need money to rebuild their lives. There's no information from the government. We have been cut off. We don't even know what will come tomorrow. You will just be sitting, and then they will just come and dump something on you. They don't want to take our opinions. They don't want to sit with us. It's something that is worrying us. If you are going to solve our problems, I think it is fair that you meet with us.
Toby Kosin-Nego VI, Mankralo of the MEPE traditional area, I really thank you for speaking to us. We are making efforts to speak with the gentleman in charge, Benjamin Saki, VRA's Director of Environment and Sustainable Development. As soon as we get through to him, you will hear what he has to say for VRA, and then we'll get you some information that you need. So the people of MEPE, they want to know exactly when the spillage is going to happen. They also want to know, should the spillage be more than anticipated? How are they going to be taken care of? They're talking also about issues from last year where compensation is still outstanding. They're talking about a lack of engagement with the interministerial committee who's supposed to have been seeing them to help them solve their problems. So a whole host of issues on the purported or anticipated spillage again of water from the VRA. You're watching GTV Breakfast. If you live in that area, let us know. 055-556-1034. We're making efforts to reach out to VRA for some comment from their side of the issue. So keep watching GTV Breakfast. Philemon,
yes,
back to you. If you want to make a comment on this, fine. If you want to talk else about in response to whatever you heard before, no problem.
I think that the people of Mepe, people of Bato, people of all the areas affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage need attention. And I think that this MPP government, you remember the comments of Akufo-Addo in Mepe, I think that is very telling. He said that they didn't vote for him, that's why the intervention was not as swift. Now these people are 1 year down the line, they have not been compensated. But we would get to that issue later. Let me come back to my brother from the New Force. We welcome you to the political stadium. I think it's important for our democracy. But let me tell my brother from the New Force something. That, you see, that perception that the NDC and the MPP are the same is false. We are not. There are several factors that distinguish the NDC from the MPP. When it comes to the issue of nepotism, this MPP has shown us what nepotism is. It's a government of family and friends. Look at the daughter of the president, the children of the president taking juicy office, cousins, relatives, over 100 relatives of the president occupying office. Tell me in the NDC government how many of John Mahame's relatives were in government. So that's a clear distinction between the NDC and the MPP. When we come to the issue of corruption, this government, this MPP Nana Bawumia government have been the most corrupt ever in the history of this country. You know the litany of corruption scandals in this country. You know it, my brother, from the New Force. Several. Now they're just too many for us to even list. Every day, corruption scandal. That's not something the NDC... You see, there's a thing about the perception of corruption. That's how to fight corruption. When the NDC under President Mahama said they were going to fight corruption, we meant it. And by clear examples, when the perception, the intention to make $1 million from politics was made by an appointee, what did President Mahama do? He fired her. His own appointee, Abuga Pele, was prosecuted by Mahame's own Attorney General. That's a clear commitment to corruption. At President Mahame's media engagement, he was very categorical. He said that any appointee of his, none of his appointees, would buy state assets. Very clear. This president, Akufo-Addo, said that, oh, if you wanted to make money, go to the private sector. What have we seen today? His appointees are buying left, right, center. His own Minister of State was caught on live TV by our Deputy National Communications Officer. He admitted on live TV that he had bought state assets. Tell me one. NDC appointed us. So we are different. The NDC and the MPP are different. When it comes to the issue of infrastructure, the NDC is miles away. When President Mahama said he was going to intervene in the health sector, he built Afari Military Hospital, he built UGMC, he built Sekwa, he built Kumau. Major interventions in health all across the length and breadth of this country. Let Awal tell me one that has been completed of the said Agenda 111. None of them has been completed. You come to the issue of integrity in government. President Mahama means it when he says he's going to deliver. When President Mahama makes a promise, he's going to deliver it. He doesn't make empty promises, as is the case of Alhaji Bawumia. Alhaji Bawumia goes to tell the people of Cape Coast that I'm building an airport for you. Nothing happens. He tells the people of Palugu that I have built a dam for you. Nothing has been done in Palugu. He tells the Muslim community that I have secured funding from Saudi Arabia for a medical Muslim university. That was a clear lie. So there's a difference. When President Mahama says A, he means A. When Bawumia says A, don't believe him, because Bawumia is a clear example of someone who lies. On the issue of debt, the management of the economy, Ghana's accumulative debt as at 2016 was 122 billion. Today, as at 2024, this month, Ghana's accumulated debt is over 600 billion. 600 billion. In the period of Nana Addo and Bawumia's government, they have borrowed more than Ghana has borrowed since Nkrumah. From Kwame Nkrumah to President Mahama, Ghana's accumulated debt was 122 million.
Billion or million?
Billion, I mean, billion.
CDs.
But yes, but the MPP in
in
7 years, almost 8 years, have borrowed in excess of 6 billion. Now let me situate this in context. The context is this: during the NDC's tenure, we had only one oil field. That means that our revenue from oil was limited. Under this MPP government, their revenue from oil has tripled. Triple, because we now have 3 oil fields. We are getting so much from oil revenue, but yet they are borrowing the most. Put the issue of borrowing aside. This government came on the promise of scraping nuisance taxes. Can't you remember that? You remember the promise of Akufo-Addo, of Bawumia, that they were going to scrape nuisance taxes, but they have come into office and inflicted on the Ghanaian people over 20 taxes. COVID is long gone. They still charge you, Kafui, and me, COVID levy. COVID is long gone. Several taxes, a litany of taxes. They have taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed, and that they are almost about to tax the air we breathe. So when we talk about a difference between the NDC and the MPP, we mean that NDC means it when we make a promise. Tell me one. one example of a promise that the NDC made and they did not accomplish. When we make the promises, we accomplish them. MPP rather has a record of failure, a record of nepotism, a record of, you see, even on the issue of character in government, public officials have a responsibility to serve. To serve. They are servants of the people. They don't have to lord it over the people. Look at President Mohammed's character. Very humble man, affable man. He relates with everybody from every corner of this country and sees them as human beings. What do we see in Alhaji Bawumia? What do we see in Akufo-Addo? Akufo-Addo is now an Ozymandias. He goes around ordering chiefs around. Stand up. Look at their new appointee, the running mate of the MPP, who is a locus classicus of arrogance, which is a clear departure from what leadership is about, a clear departure from the custom of this country. We were raised, I come from a very traditional home, we were raised to be very respectful. Kafui, you are my elder brother.
So Kafui,
on any day, I would have called you that respect as an elder brother. Anyone that is younger than me may be my younger brother or sister, but I have a duty to accord the person that respect. Unfortunately, we don't see that in our running mate of the MPP. So arrogant. So arrogant. Is this the kind of person you are presenting to the Ghanaian people? An arrogant man like that. A man who respects no one. Who looks in the faces of the Ghanaian people and then snubs them. I think that's a departure from the Ghanaian way of life. We must uphold the Ghanaian way of life, which is that we respect. Even when we disagree, we respect. Let's depart with corruption. Let's depart with nepotism and the arrogance and filth in government. We're tired as a people in this country.
Duke, you've heard both of them responding to the new. Are you convinced?
You see, I believe in one thing. We always need to change. When we observe that over a period of time, things are not going on well, we need a change. That's why His Excellency Nana Kwame Bediako is around. We are coming to bring the change and the future and restore the integrity of the average Ghanaian so that we believe in ourselves and we believe in our system. I've been listening to both parties. For me, the whole Ghana is tired. That is why I'm here. To be able to reform the system. To be able to make sure that Ghana becomes a middle-income economy. To be able to make sure that the artisans, the average Ghanaian, will be able to afford the average lifestyle. Ghana is tired. And this is the time for us to be able to give the youth an opportunity.
Ghana is already a lower middle income country.
No, you see, most of the things that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah did, the infrastructures that he put, have not been managed well. We are not producing nothing, my brother. That is our problem. The youths do not have jobs. The average Ghanaian, that is me and you, we find ourselves in good, we claim we are even in good condition, but we cannot even afford certain things. Let's talk about mortgages. How many people can even afford affordable housing? The promises that, you see, that's why I keep on saying, let's forget about the promises and let's talk about a national development plan. That you'll be held accountable for the things that you say. You'll be able to be judged, that, oh, okay, within this stipulated time, what have you done so far? I don't really want to go deeper NDC, NPP, but the whole Ghana is tired. And you and I, we are tired. He's even tired. The two young men are tired. That's why I want them on my team. So that we all advocate for change. So that they will be the pioneers of the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see. That's what we are preaching.
Are you tired?
I'm tired. That's why I'm here. So that the whole Ghana will be able to support me. So that we'll join forces. So that we'll be able to reason together. I believe in collective reasoning. For people to be held accountable for decisions they make when they are being in possession or being given the opportunity to hold the public office. Accountability must be. We are the stakeholders. And our culture is such that we cannot talk to the elderly people about accountability. So we are all feeling bad about asking our elderly people the chieftain then as the custodians of the lands when they do things that is not good. No, I do not believe in that.
Okay, so if I should ask Awal and Philemon to tout the achievements of their parties, they have things they can stand on. What does the new force stand on as achievements?
Very well.
To sell to to first-time voters, to young people.
Very well.
What do you stand on?
Very well. The new force is here to be able to seek the interest of the average Ghanaian, for us to be able to afford the average lifestyle, to be able to live. His Excellency Nana Kwame Bediako has done a lot and is doing a lot. We see he has his own business, he has his own companies running. Majority of people coming to power, they can't even declare their assets. They come to amass wealth. That's what I'm trying to say. We are not here to do that. We are coming to restore the integrity and maintain equity. When we talk about equity, we are talking about fairness. Where we bridge the gap between the too much rich and the too much poor. That is what I'm talking about. So that the average Ghanaian can be comfortable and confident that I am a Ghanaian. We are coming to restore that integrity. Make sure that you'll be able to afford the basic things we need. We don't need NDC, we don't need MPP because we are tired. Please.
All right.
Let's be able to vote for people that will be able to have our interests at heart as stakeholders. Thank you.
Duke says he's tired. He's declared tiredness on his fellow panelists. I'm very much energetic and alive.
I am not tired as well.
We are tired. You are tired. You are tired. You know you are tired.
So here are the messages: 055-556-1034. Keep it civil. Keep it clean. And that's the way we do it right here. So this, I hope our board is not tired. Okay. Good morning, fellow Ghanaians. With all due respect, Ghanaians should change the political game by bringing in the new force. Let's help push these two greedy and corrupt parties into the bush. I don't belong to any party, but I look into the economy and I make my verdict. National agenda and agricultural policies in Ghana and Africa must not be taken for granted. And he says the youth must think through and remember their destinies are in their own hands. Let us wise up. Change is difficult, but at the end of the day, it attracts spectacular fortunes. He says Ghanaians are really suffering. It amazes me living under such arrogant and gluttonous parties with the natural resources available displace fellow Ghanaians who are not compensated regarding the Akosombo Dam spillage. Selfish leaders are what we have, says James from Ogwa, Cape Coast. Good morning. CAF, we are tired of these cheap politics in Ghana. We need bold solutions. We're looking up to policies and strategies with much assertive and aggressive fists to give Ghana golden arms. Thanks very much. Very poetic right there. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You wonder which planet the MPP guys are operating on. It's planet Earth. I don't know whether after the interview they don't always listen back to what they say in the interview. How can you say that the MPP's 15 cedis to $1 is far better than the NDC's $4.5 to 4.5 cedis? That's what he said. You're looking at the change, right? Yes. You think the change is more spectacular with the NDC?
That the rate of depreciation
is wilder.
1.2 entry.
So you are both failing, but you are failing slower than they are failing.
No, not failing because the nature of our economy, no one will be able to really stand it.
But honestly, what's the percentage of inflation rate? What's the percentage rate?
Today is 22.8.
Oh, my brother. By which discount factors, sir?
Ghanaians are suffering, nothing is working, and all you're saying is Mahama this, Mahama that. You say MPP has mismanaged the economy, and all they say is they are doing well and better than Mahama and even Dr. Nkrumah. Frank the Jew, MPP talks about free SHS as if they are the brainchild of the policy. It was Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's policy, and it was enforced in the northern parts of Ghana, and again, it was enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. The only credit I give to them is expansion of free SHS across the country, says Frank the Jew. Osankide. And you think that Ghanaians have come to the conclusion to vote massively for Dr. Bawumia because you think he's the best candidate amongst all those who are contesting for the highest position in the land. You don't think that you can trust JM and his NDC people in the economy into their hands. You believe they are incompetent nation looters and gargantuan. Okay, corrupt. Okay. Emmanuel says, can we stop interjecting the MPP and panelists? When NDC speaks on corruption, it pains me. Has NDC forgotten about their poor, abysmal regime? You're sorry, from Emmanuel. Well, Awal didn't even complain to me. I don't know why you're complaining for Awal. Anyway, Amadeus, This goes to all the panelists. Our culture frowns on us calling our elders liars or saying an elder is a liar. They must remember we listen, we look, we take decisions. NDC man says he's a traditionalist. He calls an elder a liar? So it's a question there for you. Good morning. More messages. It says I should listen to a video. I can't listen to a video here. I don't have loudspeakers here. Unless by magic. I don't have magic either. If the UK changed 3 prime ministers because of economic hardship, I want to find out from the NPP rep why Ghanaians shouldn't do same, because the economic hardship brought upon us by the government is harsher than what the citizens of the UK are facing, says Frank the Jew. The question is how to solve the problem facing the country, not politics. And he thinks, yeah, that is the issue. Say, Kafu, you are tired, oh. Ask your car, it is tired after yesterday's Eastern region trip. My car went for a big bath at the car wash yesterday. Eric Buedi. He says if JDM and NDC think they will use propaganda messages against the NPP, then they are dreaming, because you believe Ghanaians are going to vote again for the NPP party due to the good leadership and governance of His Excellency Nana Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. More messages coming in. Issa has sent us one in, and you think that Dr. Bawumia is going to win the election. Okay, you think he's the next president of Ghana. Okay, all right. As long as you're not prophesying, but you're thinking. If some sections of Ghanaians think that the current cost of living caused by exogenous factors demand the change of government, then they should be fearful, because what they are calling for, you are comparing the incompetent NDC man with the government, which has nothing to offer to the country. Please, let's drop the insults and just have some good comments without any. I'll stop reading insults. CPP, wake up, we need our men on GTV. So this is a CPP viewer who is wondering why CPP is not here. And he's asking them to wake up. Did they tell you they are sleeping? Say, CPP, wake up, we need our men on TV. And women too. We'll be going shortly to our Keep an Eye segment. As soon as I get the green light, I will go there. But let me keep reading the messages. Good morning, CAF. You find it appalling when the NDC talks about corruption. You're asking for answers on Saglemi and Hope City and others. Okay, so keep them coming in 055 556 1034. Let's take a quick dash outside the studio via the power of technology to Adabraka Sahara Park, where we have a constituency watch. This morning, our man Daryl Alan Tego is live in Adabraka Sahara Park, and he will tell us what constituency that is and what is there to report. Daryl, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast. We're happy to see you here. Talk to us, Daryl. I can hear the sounds of Daryl. So this is in the heart of Accra.
Hi, good morning, Kafui. Thank you very much for coming to us. This morning we're bringing you Constituency Watch as part of our build-up to the 2024 general elections come December 7th. And we're coming to you from the Korle Klottey constituency, a part of it known as the Sahara Park here in Adabraka. And so if you have the benefit of some of our videos earlier, that should give you a general idea what the constituency would generally look like. Sahara Park is one of the few areas where flood is the key issue. The many people we have spoken to, those who don't even want to appear on camera for whatever reason, have referred to the perennial flooding of this area and how that affects their businesses, how that affects their families, and also how that affects their livelihoods. One of the key things I have heard people talk about, and something that strikes really very much with me, especially because I seem to have heard a few other constituencies and what they face regards to flooding. CAF, we made an attempt to at least get the assembly member for Sahara Park, but unfortunately the timing was too close for him to join us, and so we have to go without him. Having said that, we also try to speak to some of the young men and women around Sahara Park who we expect would want to speak to us, but they also haven't been so willing to speak to us. What I can say though is, Kafui, Adabraka Sahara Park has a general youthful demography. It has also some schools and businesses. And so beyond the Sahara Park, you have the Odona mechanical yards. You also have some clinics, and then you have other pharmaceutical companies around here. Kaf, what is quite interesting to note is the fact that though it is an urban constituency, I see people cattle rearing, and so my camera would come round to this end where you have a site of urban cattle rearing, and that for me really is one thing that perhaps somebody would want to find out why. If you're cattle rearing in an urban constituency, then what would be the kind of development you look forward to attracting to your community? In any case, such activities we expect to be some in our rural communities and not in the heart of the Greater Accra region, where it is unthinkable or even unexpected, to say the least, to have such activities as cattle rearing or cattle herding in an urban constituency. I see my colleague Jay Gabra engaging some men. Let me see if I can grab a quick word with those and find out. They seem to be lamenting. From where I'm standing, I can see what appears to be someone lamenting. And so let me go close and find out what the situation is with them. Numo minganye ufanetete miniano nyehemi te adabraka shikama yote adabraka kashidi owie mini owie bo constituency ni enumo da je money your post po wata okay one time money be post money ba anya ke wa ke enani gba nna okay. Well, yeah, off camera he could lament, but on camera he wouldn't want to say anything. And so, Kafui, one other thing I want to bring to your attention is accessing the park from the main road. You have what looks like a bridge, a bridge that's been recently constructed. It looks very well constructed. However, the drain on which the bridge is seated isn't one you can call a drain, and the choky nature of it is one of the contributing factors, if not the key contributor, to why the Sahara Park and its immediate accommodations or properties gets flooded whenever there is any rainfall. It has a few electoral areas, or what you call assembly patches, and none of the assembly members this morning is available to speak to us. However, from what we gather, just as you saw the man who is definitely unwilling, even protesting at some point to be on our cameras, it is one that I'm not sure whether there is a certain fear among the constituents as to whether they're being on camera or speaking about the issues that affect them in the constituency will eventually lead to a certain attacks. I am unable to say, but there seems to be a certain underlying fear, and that is the reason why they will not speak to camera. Adabraka is, as I mentioned earlier, an urban constituency. Adabraka Korle Klottey is an urban constituency, and demographically the population is quite dense, and it has a mix of all other ethnicities, diverse ethnic communities or groupings. The constituency is ethnically diverse, with Gadangbe, Akan, and Northness among the major ethnic groups within the Korle Klottey constituency. This diversity reflects or reflected in the cultural vibrancy of the Korle Klottey constituency. And so far, CAF, it is one that I think has a huge future and prospects, except that the people themselves are unwilling to speak to anyone or to even highlight what their own problems are on camera. But off camera, you should hear their lamentations. So far, so good. This is Constituency Watch coming to you live from the Korle Klottey constituency here in the Greater Accra region. And not to mention any names whatsoever, I can say that economically, the economic situation here is one that has both a mix of industries as well as petty trading. Korle Klottey is a commercial hub in the Greater Accra region with significant economic activities taking place in areas like well, it's a huge constituency. It covers part of the Osu Oxford Street as well as part of the Accra Psychiatric area, Accra Psychiatric Hospital area, and parts of Osu. I've been joined by a gentleman whom I'd like to speak to. Numo Fine Mingabo. Ofane Toyota. Wonderful. Ofane many we mo bas mark oba we follow oba we twi. Okay, me pacha po mo te say. Adum me pacha aha Sahara Park Korle Klottey. Aha na woto aba. Aha me to aba. Inti 2024 aba to na ha na beto no. Aha na beto no. You me mpese me hunu na beto aba man na mom wo kwato aba mebusa say edan na wo hwe ba bia wo tie no na eno na hye nkuna mo ato aba.
Say one the environment. We say go mo ko jina hu. The environment is over clean. And I say, Miss phone awahano. At times at night, no security, but they put this thing inside the gutter. Where they have to make this gutter neat. We say, so we say, if a neat, we need to my ma ufi. So we need there. To my benefit, baby. But we say, how environment near correct crowd, near compressive way, yare, where you say, all because of the gutter is not neat. A politu, ubia or area. Oh, I don't know. Now, baby, a Juman Pobia near Papia near Ayawa. But if you know, a ma Yariama Pama for a freedom for pa, a see a strong some baby got on mine. What as once we see my essay, politics, change politics, we about a see of so many years, which is very bad. Oh, say enti wo how to tie wa Sahara Park no ye say o mehwe no ma ye gota no mamu no ma hwe say o mo ja mo nan gota no mu so oni beja me da say and so I have spoken to a resident, a constituent member of the Korle Klottey constituency here around Sahara Park, and his only concern is that he acknowledges a diverse community with different minority ethnic groupings. However, he mentioned that at night there are no security available to residents, and so it is a bit of a problem. And then the key thing is their health, and that is associated with the drain we mentioned earlier. His view is if the drain is properly constructed, then there won't be a situation where people will fall ill as a result of breeding.
Okay, so that's Daryl at Korle constituency right here in Accra, looking at issues of environment, sanitation, and as for the cattle, it has been solved before. You know, create a kraal for these beasts, pass a legislation or law which says, listen, you have 6 months to send your animals to the kraal. After 6 months, if any cows are roaming around, you catch them, you slaughter them, you feed them to the orphanages and the old age homes, psychiatric hospital. Enough meat. If I see my cows being killed one by one like that, I'll know what to do. I mean, these are simple solutions, radical but very simple, and it's been done before. No need to recreate the wheel. The wheel is there, it's round. We don't have square wheels, it's round. That's all we need to do. So I look forward to having Daryl again on the Constituency Watch. Remember, he'll be coming to a constituency near you on Wednesday and on Friday as well. We're wrapping up our conversation with our gentlemen who are here. Philemon representing the NDC, Awal representing the MPP, Duke representing the New Force, and me representing you on GTV. Gentlemen, I wish you the very best. Regards to your presidential candidates, we're looking forward to seeing them here, having one-on-ones with all of them. And Nana Kwame Bediako, Alaji Dr. Baumia, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. Call them, say we want to have them. Oh, we don't get that. We don't get that. I beg. I'm working with instructions. Thank you, gentlemen. But we look forward to seeing you again some other time. Sure. All right. Thank you so much. So thanks a lot, all of you, for coming onto the show. And happy birthday to you, Bertma, from Bertma to Delali Kira. Happy birthday. And keep watching GTV Breakfast.
GBC Studio One. This is the Breakfast Show.
Let me see. She's never had a toothache before. There might be a cavity, don't you?
Thanks for staying on. It's still breakfast live on GTV. I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. It's World Brain Day, and we've given you some tips on how you can keep your brain healthy. Hope you loved Social Media Corner, the news and sports as well. We are sitting down to look at ADR now. So we are focusing on our judiciary. The Chief Justice in 2001 set up an alternative dispute resolution task force with the objective to determine an appropriate and customized policy direction that incorporates ADR in the court adjudication process. And the task force recommended the adoption of a court-connected ADR system, which would use third-party neutrals who are mediators in resolving cases referred to ADR by judges and magistrates. There's a celebration coming up, and we are sitting down to understand what the activities will be and what goes into ADR. At our table this morning, the Chief ADR Officer in charge of programs at the National ADR Directorate of the Judicial Service, Madam Christiana Puori-Demi, has joined us for breakfast. Good morning. Thanks for making the time. So, until 2001, when the Chief Justice set up this task force, did ADR not exist in our laws? Did we not practice ADR at all?
Oh, we used to practice ADR, but it was an informal way.
Okay.
Because there were some times that in court, a chief, an opinion leader, or a pastor can request for a case to be settled out of court. So it was still mediation or negotiations that they were using to do that. And the result at the end, when they report to the court accepts it and then adopt it as consent judgment. So we used to do it, but it was not formalized. Before 2001, when the task force was formed by the then Chief Justice, and then in 2005, we did the piloting in Tema and Accra.
What did that do? What did that 2001 directive do? What did it add to the judicial process in terms of ADR?
Yes, so what they did add was that they recommended that the court-connected ADR be adopted into a court trial system. So based on the recommendation, the Chief Justice of the land at that time adopted and incorporated court-connected ADR into our court trial system. So currently, when you go to court, we have two options. You either opt for ADR or you go for the normal litigation that we all know. Yes.
What kind of cases can be sent to ADR? Is it all types of cases?
No. It's not all cases, but we have a lot of cases that are appropriate through ADR. So we have cases like matrimonial causes cases, that's divorce and matrimonial causes cases. And then in that case, for a divorce case, when it comes to ADR, we handle the ancillary reliefs, and then the other, that the dissolution of the marriage goes back to court for the court to determine on that. But apart from that, we have land cases, we have commercial cases, debts between businessmen, and then we have cases of, we have, apart from the, we have land cases, like I mentioned. We have debt cases, landlord-tenant cases, and then we have minor criminal cases, the misdemeanors that could be referred to ADR, like petty assault, and then landlord-tenant having an issue at home or over an issue over there can be referred to ADR. Two women fighting over something, being an assault, can be referred, but it is not all.
So how then is ADR different from actual litigation?
The difference is that in ADR we use mediation. For the court-connected ADR that we are practicing, we use mediation. It's solely mediation and negotiation.
Can a mediator sentence someone to a prison term if it's found that
No, the mediator is a neutral third party. In fact, it's a voluntary process. The ADR process is voluntary. And it is both party-led and judge-led. So before the case will come even to court, the judge has to make a referral. And then the referral, after the referral, then the case will come to ADR. Then the parties will be assisted to appoint a mediator who will then assist them to resolve their issue. So when you come to ADR, you own the process. You are in charge in your own case. The decisions that you make will bind you at the end of the process. So we made you understand that you own the process, you know what you need before you went to court. So when you come to ADR, the same thing, you use the decisions that you come out with, the options that you generate. Then out of the options, you come out with your resolution. The resolutions are drafted down, and then you all signed. Then the terms of settlement goes back to court for the court to adopt it. But when you go to court, the normal court trial system that we all know, you take an oath, you stand in the dock, and then you give evidence at the end, one win, one loses. But in ADR, it's a win-win situation because you use mediation. And then the mediator, as you mentioned, cannot impose anything on the parties. The mediator is a neutral third party who is just there to assist the parties to talk. Because the impression is that they are having an issue and then maybe they can't talk, they can't sit to reason on the issues that they have. So they need someone who will urge them to talk, to come out with their own resolution. So you have the party autonomy when you come to ADR, but in court you don't have that autonomy.
At which point can a person decide to go for an alternative dispute resolution rather than a litigation? And who gets to make the call? Is it just for the two parties involved? Or can the court impose ADR on some parties?
Thank you very much. So it is not only the courts or the parties. It is in two ways. It's both party and judge-led. So the judge, looking at the cases that are before him or her, can refer a case to ADR. That's using the process to manage his or her court. So she can refer a case to ADR for amicable settlement. The parties also can request, one of the parties in the suit can request that I've heard of ADR, so if the court can do the referral for us to go and try if you can resolve. But because it's voluntary, the court has to find out from the other party if it's agreeable. And then if the other party says yes, the court will immediately make the order, and then you'll be assisted to get a mediator, and then a date will be set for you to have your first session.
How is a mediator chosen? Is the mediator, do you need your lawyers to be present for an ADR matter? It's at the discretion of the parties, the parties involved. Yes, so lawyers can come to ADR if the parties so wish. Yes, because he has contacted a lawyer to handle his or her case for him or her. So if the person is coming to ADR and then he wants a lawyer to come, there's nothing stops them from coming. How's the mediator chosen?
And then the mediators, we have a system that we know, Judicial Service recruits mediators, and then we train them. So it is not, we have anybody with any kind of background. If only you can read and write very well, you were educated, you can read and write. It doesn't matter your professional background.
Do they have to be I was about to ask. Yes, do they need any professional
expertise? No, you don't need to be. You don't need to be a lawyer. For myself, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm an ADR practitioner. Yes. So you don't need to be a lawyer to be an ADR practitioner. You don't need, even if you're a lawyer and you want to be a mediator, you will still go through the training. Because your law, the profession that you have is different from what you are coming to do as a mediator. Yes. So you will still need to go through the training before you can become a mediator. So we recruit them. When the openings come, we do the advertisement, and then we invite people to come. They go through screening, we interview them, and then we select 5 for each court. Yes.
From what I've heard you say, it seems like ADR just facilitates the process, saving a lot of time, which the court system may have, produced delays at. What other benefits would you say are the selling points for opting for ADR as against actual litigation in court?
Yes. We have a lot of benefits when you opt for ADR. When you come to ADR, is faster than litigation, the normal litigation that we all know. Because when you go to court, it is not only your case that the judge or the magistrate is going to hear. So today you can go to court and then the magistrate will have like 20 or 30 cases before him or her. And then your case may be called, but you'll be called around 2 p.m. in the afternoon when you have spent like 4 or 5 hours sitting in the courtroom, yes, for your case to be called. But in ADR, it's one case at a time, with your mediator. Yes, we don't lump up the cases. We apportion time for each case.
Okay.
Yes.
I was about to get to that. Is there a time frame within which parties need to come to some kind of agreement and report back to the judge?
Yes, I will come to that. But before I come to that, and the benefit, apart from it being faster, is cheaper. Because when you come up from immediately your case leave the court to ADR, that's it. No expenses again. You don't pay anything. You don't pay the mediators. The mediators are being paid by the government because it's a government policy. Judicial services is under the government. So we all draw from the government coffers. So our mediators are paid by the government. So you don't pay the mediator who will sit in your case. And somebody may ask that the judge, well, don't pay the judge. But in this case, what I want to say is that before your case will end in court, the lawyer that you have gone for, maybe it will take like 2-3 years before you get a judgment. And even if it is 6 months before you get your judgment, you will do some spending on your lawyer. Your T&T alone from your house to the court is enough. But when you come to ADR, you can use like 2 hours to determine your case. You get your resolution, you go back to court for adoption, that ends it.
You were going to tell me about the time frames that ADR...
Yes, so when a case is referred from ADR, it's 30 days.
30
the court
days.
gives 30 days, yes. You have 30 days. Within these 30 days, you need to come out with a resolution. So
and if nothing is reached after 30 days?
If nothing is reached after 30 days, you go back to court for continuation of your case.
Could
yes.
court still send it back to ADR and say, I'm giving you another 30?
Yes.
They could?
The
How
court
many
could do
times
that.
will they send it there if it doesn't work? And then they
In
take
fact,
over?
when the case comes, the first instance that the case is referred to ADR, you have the 30 days within which you have to report back to court. After 30 days, if the parties think that there's the possibility of reaching an agreement and they need a little time to do that, they can go back to court and ask for an extension. So the extension, the court can give them another 30 days.
I understand you're doing some training. Who are you looking for, and who qualifies to apply to be trained as one of your officers?